Let me get this straight. Y'all swore for years that the secret Epstein client list was being hidden to protect Democrats.
Hi guys, my name is Esther Daniel and you're welcome back to the channel. So before we move on to what people has to say concerning this issue, please subscribe to the channel, like and share the video to help the channel out.
Y'all said names like Joe Biden and Chrissy Teigen and Oprah and Obama were on the list. You said that's why the files were sealed, right? You then said Trump was innocent and this was all a deep state cover-up. But now that Trump controls the entire DOJ, the FBI, and Homeland Security, the very agencies that could release this list if it ever existed, suddenly claims there is no list? Suddenly, Epstein definitely killed himself and the case is somehow closed? Y'all went from release the list to there is no list. Really? Let's not play dumb here. Trump has been photographed with Jeffrey Epstein multiple times at Mar-a-Lago and other elite parties. Trump even told New York Magazine in 2002, "I known Jeff for 15 years. He's a terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side." Epstein was invited to Trump's private parties where girls were allegedly recruited. Trump was on Epstein's flight logs, according to court documents. Epstein was a guest at Mar-a-Lago, including Virginia Giuffre, one of the victims, who said she was first recruited while working there. Yet Trump now claims he barely knew the guy. Just stop. That lie has expired years ago. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Trump's handpicked DOJ and FBI officials promised explosive revelations from the Epstein files. Then, this month, they quietly released a memo saying, "There is no client list. Epstein committed suicide. Nothing to see here." Why, all of a sudden? Because we all know that the real names in that list would hurt Trump, not help him. The only thing that has changed is who is in power. And now Trump's team is desperately cleaning up his past. If there was even a shred of proof that this list exposed Democrats, Charlie Kirk would be posting it every 15 minutes like a goddamn Fox News ticker. But instead, we got a dead story. The files are sealed and the same people who yelled, "The truth is coming," are now whispering, "Never mind." If Joe Biden was on that list, why hasn't the DOJ released it? If Democrats were really on the list like they said, why did Trump's DOJ shut down the investigation? If there was no cover-up, why did they say a list existed and then say it never did? Because deep down they know that Donald Trump has to remain protected. He's the one with years of ties to Epstein. He's also the one running the DOJ. He also knows that the DOJ isn't going to investigate him. And he's also the one that they're trying to successfully erase from the files. Not to mention, Elon Musk already put his business out there saying that he is indeed in the Epstein files. Let's not pretend like we're crazy here. There is a list. There were names, there were files, and now they're gone. Not because they didn't exist, but because the wrong people were on it. People like Donald Trump. So the people like Charlie Kirk, you're not calling for truth, you're calling for a cover-up. Because y'all got caught protecting a predator, and history will never forget it. Let the people know. Let the receipts fly. They buried the list because Trump was on it. And the silence isn't guilt from the left, it's panic from the right. You know it, we know it, and the whole damn country knows it.
So who has Jeffrey Epstein's Blackbook?
FBI.
But who? That is, I mean, there's...
That's under direct control of the director of the FBI. Just like the manifesto from the Nashville school shooting of the Catholic school. We still haven't seen that, right? It's not the Nashville police or PD saying we don't want this out. The FBI airmailed into that operation and said this is not getting out. Because they do that because this is another government gangster operation. All these local law enforcement communities get funding from the DOJ and FBI for local programs. And if you don't cooperate, you're not getting your $1 million for this, and you're not getting and that's a lot of money to these local districts. That's how they play the game. That's why you don't have a black book. Or the
but the black book, it's not just sitting. I mean, that's Hoover power times 10.
And to me, that's a thing I think President Trump should run on. On day one, roll out the black book. And not just that. On day one, roll out all of the text messaging communications we were told were deleted. On day one, play the rest of the video of the pipe bomber. On day, one of the reforms I talk about in government gangsters is you need a central node to be continuously declassifying. This is another thing they do. They overclassify. And I'm telling you, as a former number 2 in the IC, they overclassify 50% of the stuff there to protect the deep state. Oh no, you can't see that. Nothing to see here. Gina was a master at it, of doing it. And we still haven't seen half of the Russiagate report that we wrote. Still under lock and key. On how the ICA was originally constructed. We put 10,000 man hours against John Brennan's team that did it. And we found out why they came up with their bogus conclusion. But we couldn't sell it to the world because we couldn't talk about it, and the government gangsters came in and buried it. All of these things, there needs to be a continuing central power, whether it's the White House or offsite, that says every request that comes in, just right out the door, as long as it's not a major threat to national security.
I'm sorry, but can you snowflakes get it through your head that there's no Jeff Epstein list? And there never was. I trust my president. I trust him. And if he says there's no list, if he says he barely knew the man, right, then I believe that. He's never led us wrong before. And honestly, I'm surprised people are still talking about it. When Trump was asked about it yesterday, he's like, I can't believe people are still talking about that. It's I agree. He barely knew the guy. I just think that everyone needs to move on. I think everyone needs to, stop their conspiracy theories. What does he have to gain? What does President Trump have to gain from saying that there's no list? He's always been honest and appropriate and professional. He doesn't surround himself with gross, disgusting, bad people, This is a president I swear we can put our trust in and just know that he's doing good. And that I believe if there was a list, Donald would show us. Donald would show us that list, but there's not one. So we could all just relax, people. He's a good man and he's an honest man. I would definitely trust my kids around him. I would.
Just remember, they're not releasing the Epstein client lists because there are names from both parties on it. It's why Biden didn't release it. It's why Trump isn't releasing it. Because at the end of the day, they know that the second that this information is released, it will actually be a piece of information that can, to some degree, unite the right and the left-leaning individuals that are down here on the ground and just little people. It will unite us. It will give us something to agree upon. That is the last thing they want. This administration thrives on the divide that they have created. And this will unify us down here on the ground. While I, as a leftist, am not super, fond of a lot of conservative values and individuals, specifically the MAGA individuals, I think MAGA, conservatives, and the left-leaning individuals can all agree we want to see that list, no matter who's on it, right or left. We want to see who's on it. And the second they release it, it will unify us. That's why they aren't doing it. The conservatives, the MAGA individuals specifically, ran on this platform that they were going to release it so they could get the votes, and then decided when it came down to it that if they were to release it, it would change the divide that they're creating. It would not help them because they're protecting their own, and because their own are on it, regardless of the left or not, they have to protect the left the same way. And really what the right and the left at the top want is the divide. Specifically the right, but the left doesn't help with it either. And they actively encourage other left-leaning individuals to perpetuate the divide as well. That's a whole other thing I'm going to get into later. Granted, the conservatives don't make it hard to do that. But there is still encouragement in it, okay? They want us fighting down here. They want us bickering amongst ourselves and yelling at each other. They do not want us united. And while I may not agree with people on the right, I would unite with someone on the right who agreed with me on this and was like, let's make sure that these people never wind up in office again. Let's not only never vote for them again, but make sure that they never live down their experience at Epstein Island. And that's really the last thing the right or the left wants. Okay? In terms of the politicians, not us down here on the ground. I'm not talking about us down here on the ground. I'm talking about the politicians and the celebrities, but specifically the politicians that would lose their jobs if they were found out, on the right and the left, because they're both on it. The only reason they will not release it is because they're protecting themselves. It's the reason why the left didn't release it either when they had the opportunity to do so for 4 years. But y'all ran on this platform. Y'all ran on this platform, conservatives. MAGA, y'all ran on this platform. Release the list, brother. We want to know who not to vote for. We want to know who to actively seek out and be like, hey, yo, why were you allowed in this position in the first place? They don't want us uniting. They want to keep us divided. They want us to continue bickering amongst ourselves. Well, I don't want to do that anymore. While there's certain individuals and ideals that I will be making fun of because, are you kidding me? Because they're actively harming people. At the end of the day, like I said, I'd be willing to team up if we were on the same side about this Epstein thing just long enough for us to get some change happening. You want to drain the swamp? This is how to do it. On the right and on the left. This is how you drain the swamp. Release the list. You want to drain the swamp? Release the list.
If Trump was actually in the Epstein files or on the Epstein list, then why didn't Joe Biden use that and the Democrats use that to prevent him from becoming president in 2024?
Because Trump took the list with him when he left office. Right, young patriot? If the Trump supporters on here get to speculate in order to make themselves feel better about all this, then I guess we get to speculate too. Because you guys seem to forget that all of this happened before Biden even got there. Epstein died in prison while Trump was in charge. I can only imagine what you guys would say if Biden was president and Jeffrey Epstein died in jail and there was a minute missing from the prison footage. And as we all know, when Trump left office, he took troves and troves of documents back to Mar-a-Lago with him. So maybe by the time Biden got there, there was no list. And then interestingly, when Trump gets back in office, one of the most outspoken victims of Jeffrey Epstein, Virginia Giuffre, passes away. And then just 2.5 months later, the Trump administration announces that there is no client list, after telling you it was on their desk. So if you guys want to live with the fact that the Trump administration lied directly to your faces about this Epstein client list, that's on you. But nobody's buying this Joe Biden shit, okay? Biden wasn't best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Minor difference. So come back to us with a better argument, okay, young patriot? Or just admit what we all already know, which is you guys don't even care if he's on that list. You would still support him. Yikes. All right, good luck.